So what would you say to somebody, that says something like, well, Hector, you're lucky, you got in at the right time. My opportunity isn't as good today as it was back in the 80s or whatever. What's your thought on that? What would
I
you
say
what
I
would
say you're absolutely an idiot. That's not true. The truth is, it's infinitely easier today than it's ever been. I mean, with social media, which you're doing a great job with social media. There's more information on how to be successful than ever before in the history of this planet. There's so many people doing well. The need for people to get debt free and get out of debt and retire is greater than ever. Most people don't. The average person, if they had a $500 situation that came up, they couldn't afford to take care of it. I mean, people are in bad shape financially, even though the economy right now is the best it's probably ever been in the history of our country. There are so many people that need help financially, that don't know what they're doing and don't know how to get there. And so the market is gigantic. That hasn't changed one iota. The fact is, what you still have to do, you still have to prospect, you have to set appointments, you got to do presentation. I mean, that never's going to stop. You're going to have to do that. But if you're willing to do that, if you're willing to master those fundamentals, like I mentioned, you're willing to prospect, you're willing to set appointments, you're willing to do the appointments, and just simply work, there's nothing that can stop. There's so many young people in our business right now, very young people that are making big money, and they're in the same country you're in, they're in the same business you're in, they offer the same products you're offering, everything's the same. The difference is in their actions and their behavior. It's the only difference. So
hey, so somebody's gonna say, because somebody's watching right now and they're thinking, I heard Primerica is like one of those pyramid type things, and I don't know if I want to go recruit people and do things like that. And what do you say? I mean, because there's so many people that are so talented, Hector, that they just don't understand business. So can you kind of maybe just enlighten some people out there of exactly how and why this is such an incredible opportunity?
Well, first of all, pyramids are illegal. And our country trades on the New York Stock Exchange, and it opened up at $15, and it's trading somewhere over $100 right now. And so no company that's not legitimate can do that. So that question is just ridiculous. And there are so many people that are doing incredibly well. It's one of the most successful companies in America. So that's a non-starter right there at all. And if you're a sharp person and you understand, I'll tell you, one of the problems in recruiting really sharp people is most people don't really explain our company and what we do for people. The thing that I focused on all the time, which I think allowed me to recruit really great people and build a significant hierarchy, is that I always focused on what we did for people. I didn't ever focus so much on the money to be made. The money's fantastic, but money is a byproduct of doing the right thing for people. Making sure you're solving people's most pressing problems. There's a saying, Dr. Robert Anthony is a friend of mine. He said to me, he says, Hector, money flows to those people who solve other people's most pressing problems. And if you think about that, whether you're an attorneys solve legal problems, doctors solve health problems, and et cetera, et cetera. But the fact is, in our business, we solve people's financial problems, their debt issue. We can help them get out of debt. We can help them retire in great shape. We can help them make more money. We solve so many different problems. And if you focus on solving people's problems, you're going to do well. And then you got to make sure they understand the compensation. The compensation is ridiculous. I mean, whether it's securities or life or whatever, we have multiple product lines. I'm hearing now that we're going to start offering mortgages in the near future here. I mean, that for somebody who's serious about building a significant business, a real business, a professional business, not a multi-level business. I never looked at Primerica as a multi-level. I know some people do, but I never have. I've always treated it like a professional business. I think training is a key. I think teaching people how to be successful, not only from a thought standpoint, but from an action standpoint, is super important. So training. Every great organization, every great sports team, it's the training, it's the development of people that's the key. And if you do that, I mean, you're your ability to build a massive passive cash flow that allows you to be free for you and your family is better today than it's ever been. And I've been at this thing for almost 34 years now. It's infinitely better today than it's ever been.
I agree. I agree. Hector, what does accountability mean to you, and why, as you're building a team, or maybe getting connected to the right coaches, the right mentors, how important is accountability in that process?
Well, I think it's critical. I think if you're not accountable to some higher thing, then I think you're never going to, it's like having a coach. The thing that a coach does for you, they make you uncomfortable. That's one thing why people avoid it, because nobody wants to be uncomfortable. But what they get you to do is they get you to do the things that you won't do on your own. That's why people hire a personal trainer. Why would you hire a personal trainer? Because you don't push yourself in the gym like a trainer would push yourself, and you get better results when you get pushed. The same thing's true in business. In business, it's, you need somebody to hold you accountable to get you to do the things you don't feel like doing or really don't want to do. Because everybody really knows that they're serious what to do. The fact is they don't get themselves to do it, and a coach will help you with that, the right kind of coach. And I think that if you're not going to be accountable, you're never going to do as well as you could do. I mean, you just won't, because it's very rare for somebody to do the right things on their own. And you have to look at it like that. Instead of looking at it like it's a negative, you look at it like, okay, this is going to get me closer to where I want to go. Having a coach, having a mentor, having somebody hold me accountable to my actions on a daily or weekly or monthly basis.
Hey, everybody. I just want to remind you that we are on the Wealth on the Beach podcast with Daniel Alonzo, and our special guest today is Hector LaMarque, one of the best in Primerica. And just this is a total honor, Hector. I mean, this has been so much fun today so far. I have a couple of other things, because you kind of mentioned a little bit about about your thinking, and I know you believe in the law of attraction. What does that mean to you, and how have you applied that in your life through the years?
Well, there's definitely a law of attraction, no question. And thoughts are things. A thought is actually like an electromagnetic thing. When you think of thought, you put that out there, and it comes back to you. So the one thing I've done that I know works, there's no question in my mind, is that I have disciplined myself to only think about what I want and reject every thought that isn't what I want. And I do this. So like if I'm thinking I want to get my income to a certain number, I think about that thought relentlessly. I never stop thinking about it. I have, I'll write my goals. Like one of the things I've always done is I put my, like a synopsis of my goals. I'll have one where I get ready in the morning on my mirror. I have one in the sun visor of my car. I have it on my smartphone. I have it in my presentation book. I have my goals everywhere where I'm thinking about my goals, what I want, all of the time. And most people, there's two kinds of light, right? There's fluorescent light, which has no power, and there's lasers, which have the power to do great things, right? And actually tragic things too. They're very powerful. And so what happens when you start thinking like a laser beam and focusing in on exactly what you want all the time, all day, every day, go to sleep thinking about those things start happening. I don't know how it works, actually. I don't know. I just know it does work. And so I choose to only think about what I want. And if you're hearing this right now and you make that connection and you start doing that, it doesn't happen overnight. Thoughts don't change things in a minute. It takes time to do that. This thing has to be a lifelong focus where you do it all the time. And that doesn't mean you're not going to have problems in your life. It doesn't mean you're not going to have ups and downs. You are. But over time, if you have that kind of laser-like focus of only focusing on what you want, you will be amazed over time what's going to happen for you. I know that. If you look back at how I started my life and where I'm at right now, it doesn't make any sense. But that thought is the thinking is what created that. And it will for you too.
Thank you for watching our short clips on Alonzo Academy. If you'd like to watch the next short clip, click here. If you'd like to watch the entire podcast, click here.